equal time and the abundance of attention that Adaya did, but we really worked towards that. So she, we don't cheat her.
Right. Now we've been talking about your experience, you planning to have your kids and so on. What about schooling? Because that is something that I also want to talk about. How did you go about, or did you have your first daughter in daycare right away, or how did that work out?
Well, being first-time parents, of course, the first one, you're totally paranoid that everything is going to happen to her once she's out of your care. So I remember the first time I went back to teach, she was about 2.5 months, and I had a terrible experience. I was crying for about hours into the day and she was left with my mom. So Adaya stayed with my mom for the first 10 months of her life, and I'm a firm believer of interaction. So I knew I had to let go of the strings and get her into daycare. So I did that when she was 11 months. And with Ayana, on the other hand, we enrolled her when I went back to school. It was easier, and it was a difference. We saw Ayana progress much faster than Adaya did because of the interaction at daycare. And of course, we chose those interactions. We held them high, and this daycare we chose, we were very particular with who we were choosing to give our children to.
So how did you choose? I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about with the paranoia, because I had it with Malachi. And I think I scrutinized every daycare. I think it's like 40-something of them.
Yes, so did we.
And I called the Vineyard building, and I spoke to Mrs. Martina to find out which are the ones you recommend. I mean, it is so amazing what you would do with your first child, because you don't know what to expect and you want the best. So how did you go about eventually choosing a daycare?
Well, we did that also. We visited many daycares. We knew from outside appearance that, okay, that is not one we want to choose. We had Adaya enrolled at one daycare first, and then it was a good daycare. But then, however, our first choice did not open on time, so that was our second choice. So when the school of our first choice did open, then we transferred her to that school.
Okay.
And she now graduated from that school, going to kindergarten now, yes.
Okay. And you have your second also in that
also
school?
there, yes.
Okay, very good. So tell us now about, you talked about one being a little social bug and the other one being a little bit more reserved. How do you cope with it? Knowing that maybe one is extremely outgoing and the other isn't, or how do they cope with each other, having these different personalities?
Well, what we've seen is that our second Ayana, she kind of holds Adaya as a role model. So Adaya is a performer, and we see her doing that also. They are so different in personality. Adaya likes to play with others. She likes to look at TV. And Ayana likes to play with toys and likes to play alone. However, Ayana still models her in certain things that she does. If Adaya whines, Ayana comes around the corner and whines. If Adaya asks for fries and Ayana comes with her, she's only one, but she tries to imitate what Adaya is saying. Let me do it twice, And it's so amazing, even though they're different in personalities. However, sometimes we feel that they're tag teaming against us to get their way.
It seems so sometimes.
It seems so. Well, I guess that's you're gonna have that, and especially when they get older, they definitely will tag team. And what about them playing you? Because that is something that children do. We did it too. We go to mommy. We know mommy's a certain way. We go to daddy. Do they do that a lot, or at least the eldest?
Both does. And sometimes I have to give daddy the look, because daddy will always tell him, mommy said you can't have it. So mommy is going to always be
the bad cop.
Exactly. So if Adaya asks for ice cream, and he will say, well, you have to ask mommy. So when mommy says no, it's too late for ice cream, then I say, you see, but it's mommy said you can't have it. So sometimes he tries. When I give him the look, he does say, Adaya, it's too late, but he really wants to keep them on his side,
Okay. So it's not about actually wanting to give them their way. It's just more about them being on his side.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I would want to have the kids, come into this whole interview, because I'm sure Adaya is just as articulate as her mom and her dad, and ask her, also some questions about, being the eldest sister and how is it, and now that she's going to be going, I'm sure she's saying big school, how does she feel and stuff like that. But you talked earlier about the values of family, and that is why I wanted to have you on, because whenever I see you guys, you're always happy. Whenever I see Sion, he's always with the kids, and that is what we want to promote. We want to promote, the family unit and that bond that fathers should also have with their kids, and not always be the mom. So having said that, we're gonna take a break and go and get the kids to join the interview. Alright, we've now been joined by Rita and Sion's beautiful daughters, Adaya and Ayana. And I want to ask Adaya a question. Adaya, tell me, how do you feel being a big sister? Do you love your little sister? Yes, you do? Do you hug her? Do you kiss her? Do you treat her kind all the time? Yes? Okay, so Rita and Sion, so tell us about some of the things that you do as a family together with your daughters.
Well, both of us, we hold having high standards for our girls. We want to be good role models for them. We spend time doing everything from playing puzzles, with daddy playing dollies with them, mommy playing dollies with them. Little things about going hiking around the island, taking them to the beach, going to the boardwalk, just having strolls, going to the movies, going to carousel. There are so many things that we do. Dancing with them in the house. Yes, 4 of us, we dance 1 and 1 am, There's a dance that we do, we say, everybody hug, and then we all, what do we do, Adaya? Everybody hug? We all hug each other, we dance, and it's something that comes natural to us. And with the girls, we want to introduce them to tradition. So we take them fishing, we take them to the sites on St. Martin that people say, oh, you two guys do that already with them, but we want them to grow knowing those things around the island.
And that's very good. I see you have a little talker here.
Yes.
Ayana?
Ayana.
Ayana.
Ayana, say
Ayana, say hello. Hello. Adaya, you see? Ayana's being so vocal. What about you? You don't have anything to tell us?
What you want to say?
Oh, I have something. I heard that you graduated. Is that true? So where are you going to go to school now?
The big school? Where?
Do you know the name of your school?
Yeah.
What is it called? So she's graduated now from preschool and she's going to kindergarten. Where will she be going?
I enrolled her at Sister Marie Laurent School.
Okay.
For many reasons. I know they have a very good system there, a good foundation. It's close to the school that I'm working at also, which is Marie Genevieve the Weaver School.
Okay.
And for a very long time, there are so many schools I wanted to choose from, and that was the one that we decided on.
Man, I'm supposed to take my girl out to dinner this weekend. I'm so broke, man.
Man, I used to have those same problems, but since I got my whip company card, when I take my lady out, I even get something back,
Get something back. Well, you're a lucky fella.
I take your mind out the gutter, man. What I mean is, with whip company I get back 1% on every purchase I make. With this card, I can spend in guilders and use it throughout the Netherlands and Tilly's. Instead of paying 1% of the dollar credit card, man, I get 1% back on every purchase I make at the end of the year.
What? I gotta get myself a company on card.
Man, but let's go.
Let me go. Man, now my lady's birthday gonna be a real celebration.
At least now with Whip Compaleon, I know you're gonna get something back.
The Whip Compaleon credit card with limits as low as 500 guilders. You don't have to walk with cash and it is accepted by practically all businesses. The Whip Compaleon is the first guilder credit card that can be afforded by anyone.
Okay, so Sion, tell us what would you like to share with other families concerning family values?
First of all, it's important to have good morals, a good foundation of morals, especially when you have children involved. And don't be afraid to mix the cultures. I came from a different culture, as Rita also, and because the two families always stress on unity, the coming together of Rita and I, it just stresses on unity more, and that's one of the things that that we get to easily instill in our two kids. And long-term and short-term goals. Don't be afraid to include long-term and short-term goals. You know, short-term goals such as like we're trying to acquire our own home right now. That's a goal that we have as a family. We're working towards that. Another short-term goal that is important for us is the educational standards for our children. You know, every time in the home we would do things that would influence them in that way. You know, we would have. It's not too late to include spelling bees. You know, 3-letter words. Like there's this puzzle that I bought
Yeah.
that Adaya is really fond of, even Iana, and you would be surprised. Adaya, can you spell pig? Can you spell pig for her? Go ahead, spell it.
Spell it.
Yes, she's
That's another one. Don't eat when your mouth is full. You know, the unity, the incorporation of your moral values, right? If you're not from here. Okay, just now you get a chance with it. And the long-term and short-term goals. Now, I told you my short-term goals for my family. The long-term one would be to always be happy as a family, whether we're away from each other or not. Whenever we're together, you know, we always achieve, we always be happy among each other.
Well, Rita and Sion, it's been such a pleasure talking with you about your beautiful family and about the values that you do have. And I'm very happy that you were able to share some of those values with the viewing audience, and continue to do the great work you're doing with your daughters and with yourselves. And I do intend for this program to continue. So I look forward to when Adaya and Ayana are teenagers, and we could probably bring them back and see, you know, what really happened in these early, you know, their early years. And by then we'll be talking about high school. So thanks once again for being on the program, and good luck in all of your endeavors with your long and short-term goals.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for having joined us once again on A Better Place. Do stay tuned as we bring you another program next time.